It is now 1:02 in the afternoon. I will officially call the Budget and Finance Committee meeting on May 20th, 2024 to open. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm going to first start off by saying that it'll be on our agenda going forward, but we will leave a space for public comment for agenda items only. So that way we have an opportunity for members of the public to come in and comment on anything that they notice via the agenda. It's not on our agenda today, but I just wanted to make note that it will be going forward in the future. Thank you very much. So today we will be covering the budget and finance fees and fees specifically for the license and inspection department as well as zoning. Ms. Richards?
I'm not really prepared. I thought we were going to be tabling this again.
Okay.
That was the last I heard. I'm just about done.
Can you speak to the mic, please?
Yes, please.
I'm sorry.
Okay. With all the people in here, it's loud.
Yeah, it is. No, we're going live on these meetings, so that's why.
That's okay. So from what I understand, today's meeting was going to be tabled for the fee schedule because planning and zoning was not done, and I am 99% done. I'm
Okay.
just going through the schedule now and striking out and putting in there why we feel the change needs to take place.
Okay. So that's fine for the people that are watching at home because we are live. We will table the license and inspection department, but we did want to give any department in City Hall the opportunity to present if they were willing and able today. If we don't have any, we do have a new CFO that I would love for you to stand up and introduce yourself when you get a chance. However, okay, so because you're 99% done, we can table this for maybe a week or two prior to this.
2 weeks, I think, would be excellent.
Okay. And that will also give our new CFO opportunity to get acclimated with City Hall as well as get his bearings, so that way we can actually move accordingly.
Yeah, and with the holiday coming, people will be taking off, so I think 2 weeks is,
Forgot about the holiday.
Yes, but I did want to open up the floor for any department that was able or willing to present today. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're all friends now.
Sounds good.
Hi, my name is Rich Troutman. I am the new CFO. I am excited to be part of the team, truly excited. My background generally is with large turnarounds and large cities, and it'll be nice to be part of Chester 2.0. And
like
so,
that.
unless there are any direct questions, those are my first comments.
I personally don't have any direct questions, but I just want to give you a warm welcome to City Hall. We're looking forward to getting some productive things done and working well together, so welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Councilman Davis,
Good
Councilwoman
afternoon.
Gibson, Mayor Roots, long time no see.
West.
Or, I'm sorry, Councilwoman West, my apologies.
That's okay.
I was replaying the Public Safety Committee we had earlier in the day.
Right.
No, as far as the fee schedule, it was mine and I believe other department heads understanding that it was going to be tabled today and that we would have the information for you the next Finance Committee meeting for review.
Okay.
So,
That's
therefore, I don't have anything to add.
Commissioner Shirley, that's perfectly fine. Thank you for that communication. We will table your department as well.
Thank you.
And I'd just like to say that the Public Works Committee, our presentation will be done in about a couple weeks as well, because we had someone out on vacation and then another person that went on vacation this week. So we are not prepared to present today.
Thank you, Councilwoman. For transparency's sake, this is something that we did foresee happening. So because we have so many fees from so many different departments, it's going to take a while for the city to actually get on track and give everybody time to, go through all their fees and actually get everything in order. So that is understandable, but for the people at home, we want to let everyone know that we are trying to handle this as quickly and as, I guess, efficiently as possible. With that being said, I would like to move on to line item 2, which is B4, which is the restructuring of the ARPA committee, the American Rescue Plan Act Committee, for those who don't know. The reason that we're having this conversation today, and please, somebody stop me if I'm speaking out of turn, is in regards to restructuring and I guess reorganizing the ARPA committee so that way it can actually get back up and running and people can actually start attending. The community can be involved in these meetings and these conversations so that everyone knows what's going on as far as the budget and everything that's going on with ARPA projects. Currently, we don't have a chair or a vice chair. Am I correct in saying that?
On the ARPA
Yes.
committee?
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay. So with that being said, I have a question. Does this committee have the authority to assign or recommend a chair or vice chair? Since this is all new and a new structure, that was a question that I had. But I did want to make sure that this was on the agenda because it's something that's important, not only for council, but for the community, so that they have input on what's going on with the ARPA committee.
Well, my instructions was that as a committee, as a committee who lost their chair, that was Councilman Morgan, that it was up to the committee to determine who their new chair is. I didn't consider that it would go through this committee, but maybe it should. I'm kind of hesitant here to have an answer.
This will be a conversation that I would love to have with our solicitor. I know that it's been an ongoing conversation in regards to the committee itself, but I think that the Budget and Finance ARPA committee fell under that directly, so that's the reason I had it put on the agenda. Thank you, Madam Clerk, but there wasn't too much information on my end on how that would actually work, so
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
why it was part of the
As
conversation.
I think through this, the candidates that are on the committee applied. So I'm not saying this is a final, but we may just need to put an application out there again, or to make it open for people to apply to be on the ARPA committee, knowing that there's one seat to fill. And then once it's filled, the committee itself would choose its chair. So I think that may be the path forward.
Councilman
So
West.
we have an ARPA committee already.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's on the ARPA committee?
Who's on the ARPA Community Committee?
I don't have that information in front of me, unfortunately. It is in my email. I can get that for you.
Okay.
See if I
meeting's
remember
over.
them all. Tom Nixon, Annette Pyatt. You guys know? Can I get some help from the audience? No?
Wasn't Annette an alternate?
Annette was an alternate, yes.
I only know Mr. Nixon now that you mentioned it.
Right.
I don't know anybody else.
We could look at his email and see the folks. But yes, there is a committee. It just lost that one member, and that was Councilman Morgan. And they feel through one of the committee members' emails to me specifically, and then to the group, that we're responsible for them not continuing their meetings. My response to them was, well, it's kind of your committee to, name your own chairman, but Ms. Joy Taylor's on that committee. Yes. So I can't think of the fourth person.
And via, I'm sorry.
They could have just done a reorganization, and
Well, yeah, that's
that's all they had
So
to do.
via-
kind of what I said.
Via the email correspondence I received from Madam Controller, she believed that an elected official was also supposed to sit on the ARPA committee board. So I wasn't sure if one of the current city council members was going to replace Councilman Will Morgan, or if there would have to be a vote. I wasn't exactly sure. That wasn't made clear via the emails, which is why, like I said, I wanted to put it on the agenda so we can open the floor for the conversation.
Yeah, there are no governing documents. There is no bylaws or anything, so.
But you said you had a
Can you- Can you-
It's a 5-member board. Right.
Okay. So with that being said, I would like to table item B4, the restructuring of the ARPA committee, until we have an opportunity to speak with our solicitor, to find out exactly how that, I guess, reorganization or restructuring legally has to take place. If an elected official from city council needs to sit on that board, I would, happy to recommend myself, but I would first like to get a legal opinion to make sure I'm not stepping out of turn. Sounds good? All right, do we have any questions, comments, or concerns from anyone in the community?
Are the dollars that are currently in the budget for ARPA fixed? Is there room for any additional line items to be added to that ARPA fund?
I'm going to be completely honest with you, Ms. Smith. I am not sure. I believe that, to my knowledge, looking at the previous ARPA budget, that projects could be, money could be moved for different projects if it was available. I don't know which funds were allocated to each project specifically. As of right now, I don't have the information in front of me. But to my knowledge, looking over the ARPA budget when I first came onto city council, if the money hasn't been allocated to a specific project, then it could be utilized for something else. But I'm not exactly sure how that works currently.
Okay, can I request a list of that budget for ARPA?
Yes, ma'am, you can.
All right, I'll just be a little more information on that.
Yeah.
By the end of this year, all the money that, well, no new money is coming in. That's not what you're asking though, right? Right. So of the money that is allocated for ARPA, I understand that by the end of 2024, all the money has to be obligated to a project. I do believe there is still money that's not obligated yet. And then at the end of 2026 is when all the projects have to be completed by. So that's, I mean, it's super important that this community committee does formulate again, because that's the only opportunity that the community has to talk about ARPA as a community. There's internal works going on with regard to how the money's being moved, with projects are being funded, with projects are in progress, which projects are being completed. But I really strongly feel as though the community should understand, and like yourself, be able to get this information without a personal request for it. But there's no reason why we can't get you that most current information as far as those items. What's been completed, what's been obligated, what's been started, how much money is left to obligate. That's all in one spreadsheet that we can provide for you. Okay.
And I believe that, you know, any monies that were set aside for a particular project had to be approved. You know, each department got together and we looked at what the needs were per department. And then, you know, we submitted it to the person who was heading up the ARPA project as a whole. And it was submitted for approval. So I don't think those monies, once they've been approved for a particular project, the monies can't be moved to another project.
I think there can be some movement, but
I'm
after
asking.
the end of 2024, they can't.
Okay, right.
Everything's
Has
set
to
in
be
stone.
set in stone, yeah.
So there probably has been some movement since you last saw an update. And a lot of it's just due to priorities, emergencies, whatnot. But the community, unfortunately, hasn't been consistently engaged in updates and input. And I definitely want that to happen for these last 7 months of the year, 6 months of the year.
Thank you. Any more questions, concerns? Seeing none, hearing any? Excuse me, seeing none, hearing none. I move that we table the fee schedule for all departments under City Hall purview to a later date. That date, would you like to set that date at a later time? Because we still don't know exactly how many departments,
Well, I think
how far along they are with their fee schedules. being as though.
If L&I is ready in 2 weeks, I think we should set the date for 2 weeks, but I think it's going to be impossible for all departments to present at that meeting. So
Right.
let's at least set a date for 2 weeks for L&I. And you said Public Works is pretty much ready as well.
Yeah, we've, they have some things in place, but because of vacations, we just needed some extra time.
Yeah. My concern is, though, the meetings are only an hour long, and I don't want to pile too many departments
Sure.
into one meeting. But L&I, you're ready, you guys are ready. I think we could probably get the two in, and you? Fire will be ready.
Okay.
So
So
we're going to
it-
play this by ear.
Okay, so it's safe to say it'll be exactly 3 weeks from today. That'll be June the 10th. That will be our next. We will table the fee schedule for the different departments for 1 p.m. June the 10th. Okay, thank you. So we'll go off the. Okay, so noon. We have noon's good.
12.
12, okay. So we'll schedule it for 12 noon, June the 10th, 2024, will be the next meeting for the Budget and Finance Committee. All right, and I'll call this meeting to an end.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you both for your